it's really interesting. One of the truths that I hold really dearly is this idea that luck is where opportunity meets preparation. And I feel like Otago University gave me some of the best preparation I could hope for in terms of the ability to communicate and the skills that I needed to go out and find a job.
And while I was at Otago, the things that have really helped me later on for my job is making use of those, taking part in clubs and things like that. So what I was really involved in was both the Yellow-Eyed Penguin Trust. Again, I got a trip down to the Subantarctic out of it, but it also taught me a whole lot of governance skills. And again, that was just randomly answering an advert that went out via email for young people to apply for this role they were doing. So just jump at those opportunities. And I also got involved in the Otago University Tramping Club, where one year I was completely hapless, had no idea what I was doing in the outdoors, and the next year I was running a trip for 100 people to Paradise near Glenorchy, so a real place, not taking 100 students to Paradise. I didn't know is most jobs for graduate programs actually get advertised at the start of the year, so you really need to be looking in January, February, March. May, kind of, some of them are already closing, so you really have to be kind of onto it at the start of the year at a time you don't think you should have to be. And so the advert for MPI came up, and I didn't really know what MPI did. I thought they do something to do with farming, maybe. But they also found out they did a whole lot of the biosecurity stuff, and with my experience and background in doc, I thought that was quite relevant. And the way that I got into that job was in my cover letter. It was very tailored. I did my research on what MPI did. I had my personal experience to talk about with biosecurity, and that was what got me into that organisation. They're not interested in people who don't know anything about their organisation. It's so key that you do your research. And the other thing that got me in there is I like to talk to people. As someone said on my assessment day when I was there, you can teach anyone to do anything, but it's very hard to teach those communication skills. So when you show up, just talk to people normally, like don't try too hard, but just they want to see that you're a team player and can communicate well.
At university, get involved. So you're all here. How can I make myself attractive to the forces? Get involved in the time while you're at university. Get onto those faculty execs. Be part of something that organises. Give some time up to tutor or to mentor other students, because that shows us you're a team player. Use the Careers Centre here to develop your interviewing skills, develop your interpersonal skills, develop your CVs, practice writing good covering letters that are targeted to the organisation that you want to work for, because these are all free services that the university are giving you, and when you leave university you pay for all those services. So take the opportunity while it's here.
So, as a humanities graduate, you will have research skills, you'll have communication skills, logic, critical thinking, flexibility and agility. They're all the things that the tech sector in New Zealand is crying out for.
The core, though, of this thing we call news is a lot of the skills that you are learning and have, or I'm sure already. The key to it, of course, is finding out what's going on, understanding what's going on, and then trying to explain it. And these are the core skills of a humanities degree, aren't they? Understand an issue, dig into it, research, find the people who know, talk to them, gather up the pieces, form a view, find a way of explaining it, argue the case. And so humanities, more than any other discipline, is going to be the one that will get you prepared for the creative industries, as they call them now, reporting, broadcasting, all those things that we call media. What I've learned along the way is, above all, be flexible and be true to yourself. I think it's a truism now that people need to be generalists and ability to shift and move the times. Things are changing very fast, especially around technology, as Kylie was telling us. But equally, it's true that you can make $1, maybe $1, maybe not a lot of dollars, but $1 out of what you're passionate about, what you're interested in. Things are fragmenting at the same time as you need to be a generalist. If you want to follow up specialist economic reporting, there's a niche for you. You know, on the internet you can find your audience. If you want anything that you can imagine, you can find a specialty in that now. Now, some of them pay better than others. Let's be honest, all right? But if you want to follow your passion, that gives you the edge of being the person that is most excited about that, and you might just carve out your own field, and before you know it, you find that you are in demand.
What I love about policy is that it's really about identifying problems and finding solutions, and I believe that the degrees that you get with the humanities, in the humanities division, they really provide you with those critical thinking skills that are useful. And they also allow you to think a bit more laterally, think outside the box, think about connections, and that's really, really valuable in a policy context.
I thought, why don't I take this one problem of food waste that's perfectly good to eat because people are dumpster diving to eat it, and use that to solve the problem of people not having enough food. It seems pretty simple. Take one problem, use it to solve the other problem. Well, it wasn't simple at all, but I thought, that's what I'll do. That was the thing that really resonated with me. And you'll find with you, as you go through your careers, things will resonate with you, and they'll just hit you in the guts, in the heart, in the head, and you'll just know that this is the thing that you want to try, and you've just got to have the courage to try it. I decided to research around it, and this is what you'll be able to do with your degrees. Research the problems, research the issues, think about the solutions, work out how you might actually make this work, draw up a business plan, talk to people, interview them, write policies, write procedures, make manuals, get a board together. That took about 4 months. The chairman of my board said to me, "When are you going to start rescuing the food? When are you going to start doing the thing that you want to do? Take this food, stop it from going to landfill, and actually use it to feed people." Because you can make all the policies and procedures and plans in the world, but until you actually start doing it, you're never really going to know how to manage your business. So I did. So I jumped in my car and I drove down to Wishbone at the hospital, and I collected the first food donation in 2012. It was a bag of sandwiches, and I took those sandwiches to Women's Refuge, and they used it to feed their women in their safe houses. It all started because I actually had the courage, in a way, to just do it. Everybody will have great ideas. You've just got to have the courage to follow through with those ideas and take a punt, take a chance. If it doesn't work, you haven't lost anything. You'll learn more from your failures than you ever will from your successes.
So I got my job at MB because I had a PhD, which is an index of my research skills, but I also got it because I was able to demonstrate that something I'd done previously, which was to write a book about the gender imbalance in New Zealand, had given me the skills that would enable me to do the job well. So every opportunity will be a stepping stone to the next one. Be open to these opportunities. Say yes to things. You never know where unorthodox roads are going to lead. I know BA graduates who are working high up in areas that relate more closely to the part-time job they held at university than to the subject area of their degree, but the skills they acquired during their study are what got them there. Network. You can't tell what kind of encounters will lead to jobs. I met someone at a party just after I'd moved back to New Zealand. We drank a lot of G&Ts and talked smack, and a few weeks later she remembered me and called me up to offer me my first job out of my PhD. Turned out she was the most well-connected woman under 40 working in the arts and media in Wellington at that time. When you move into a different sector, which most of you will have to do at least once during your working lives, be kind to yourself. You won't know instinctively how everything works, or the language, or the processes. Indicate that you're willing to learn and don't beat yourself up when you make mistakes at the start. Good employers are patient. If they're not patient, you don't want to work for them. And finally, don't aim for the well-paid jobs. Aim to change the structure of society. Do this while you're young and energetic, and don't have children and ageing parents making demands on your time and finances. Join a political party, join a union, use your reading and thinking and analysing skills to think about how you can make the world better for everyone, not just for yourselves. And remember that while you're doing this, you'll always have books and films and art and theatre and all the other things that you've been introduced to over the course of your degree to keep you company. So, good luck.